Salute to everyone out there. I was watching a news clip on George H.W. Bush funeral. What a nice funeral. You had his son, George Bush, giving candy to Michelle Obama for whatever reason. Barack Hussein Obama was present, and Donald Trump. Powerful people were at George H.W. Bush's funeral. Another thing I noticed, no one stood up at the pulpit and called the Bushes murderers, telling them they lied about 9/11, sending innocent Americans overseas to die. I noticed that. But when you look at funerals like Aretha Franklin's and how people get on the pulpit and just lecture Black Americans, and that really struck me. I said the difference in respect, you can see it. It's like night and day. Even though George Bush, he sent American troops into Iraq in 1991. I believe it was 91. They called it the Gulf War. He didn't get a chance to finish the job. So his son Bush said, okay, I'm going to do it for you. And ever since then, this country has been in decline. If anyone should have stood up and been lectured, it should have been the Bushes. The Bushes have murdered hundreds of thousands of innocent children overseas. There were supposed to be weapons of mass destruction. There were none. There were none. The mothers of these dead soldiers, they didn't even get an apology. They just get a American flag, a Purple Heart, and a hug. That's it. And then I look at Black Americans like Aretha Franklin, how she passed. And you had people lecturing Black Americans at a funeral. It shows you the level of respect. It's like night and day. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
What up, motherfuckers? What the fuck is up? So, it's not my birthday anymore. It only lasted a day. But guess what? Guess what my mama gave me? She gave me some earrings, some hoop earrings, of course. Some golden motherfucking earrings, bitch. The fuck? I'm just kidding. My mom, I love my mom. She's just the sweetest lady ever. But anyways, so I'm gonna talk about these because I said I was gonna talk about it, and here I go. Relationships between Latinas, Mexicans, whatever you want to call it, and Black men. Basically, in the Mexican culture, if you are seen with a Black man, well, I'm gonna talk about my family. In my family, if you see a Black man with a Mexican girl, she's a thirsty little thought that likes black dick. That's how they fucking see it. Like, since I was little, I would just watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I would just sit there and watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because that show was the shit. It gave me so much lessons. It taught me so many lessons. And my mom would always give me the, why are you watching negros? Why are you watching them negros? You like negros? And it was like, ugh, you know, annoying. And then I would listen to Tupac, Ice Cube and all that. And my mom's like, oh, ya vas con tu música de negro. And I'm like, Mom, are you fucking racist? Like, what the fuck? She's like, no, I'm not racist. We're all children of God. So in my head is like, why are you so against black people then? She's like, no, I'm against black men because they use women. They use women, they have kids with them, and then they leave them. And then I'm like, but isn't that what Mexican men do too? Like, not all of them, but isn't that what Mexican men do too? Or the Mexican men are alcoholics and leave their wife or hit their wife? Isn't that our story? And she just stopped, right? So anyways, time kept going. And one time I wanted to fuck around with my mom. So I told her that I had a black boyfriend. But this was a lie because I didn't have a black boyfriend. I wish I had a fucking boyfriend. I was a little lonely bitch with no boyfriend. And she said, like, Mom, guess what? I have a boyfriend. And she's like, oh yeah? Like, she got mad. And she's like, and I said, I have a black boyfriend. Like, her whole face changed. She got all fucking angry. She looked at me and she's like, el día que tú traigas a un negro a esta casa, te me largas. Practically saying, if I ever have a black boyfriend, if I ever bring a black guy to the house, I can get the fuck out of there. I have no home. I'm kicked out forever. Like, it was that deep. Really, Mom? Like, but I don't even blame her. It's nothing against my mom. It's what her parents taught her. It's what it's been taught, engraved in our heads. That black men are cheaters, that black men are bad, but you know what I feel? I feel that in every culture there's bad and good. Every culture, not all of them are the same. Every culture is like, there's good and there's bad. You know? There's some couples here in this neighborhood where the girl is Mexican and the guy is black. And I see them, they've been together for a while. So obviously, it's not the same story for everybody. I'm not saying that some black men cheat, but I feel like it's not all the same. I feel like it's like stereotyping people. I feel like you should get to know a person before you even judge them. And the thing about it I don't like is when black girls talk about the Mexicans when they're with the black men, like, oh, that Spanish girl Spanish girls are taking our man, Spanish girls this, Spanish girls that, like if we are bad or something. Like, we're in 2018. People been together from different races, but now it's more open. Now people don't give a fuck. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm with a black man and I don't give a fuck. Like, people will walk around and not care. As they should. Because you fall in love wherever the fuck you want to fall in love with. And it's like, no matter what, if you are Latina, and you're walking around with a black guy, according to everybody, you love black dick. You're a thirsty little thot. But you know what? You shouldn't give a fuck. You should do whatever fuck you want to do. Fuck whoever you want to fuck. Be whoever you want to be. Doesn't fucking matter. Because at the end of the day, everybody's opinion shouldn't fucking matter. And I don't go by people, what they say. Fuck what everybody says. My mom taught me one thing, but I'm not teaching my daughters that. If they want to fucking marry black, Chinos, Indian, whatever the fuck they want to be with, as long as that motherfucker loves them, I'm cool. Okay? Peace.
There's a Afro-Latina here on YouTube in Japan. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. I don't know her name, but one of her videos did make world star hip-hop. However, she often talks about growing up in a Hispanic family, I believe it's Mexican, and being treated differently because of her skin tone, her skin color, her skin complexion. I've been saying this. There is a huge anti-blackness in Hispanic people, Latin America. Just look at the race issues in South America. In Brazil, there is a color system. So if you are a person with color in your skin, many people aren't going to like you or treat you fairly because they don't see you as one of them. They see themselves as a white majority. Hey, we're Hispanic, but we are white. And many Hispanics have taken on the mindset of white races. But then you have the Hispanic that will call out racism or racist people in their culture, like her here. You have a couple of Hispanic men on social media that has done it also. Now you look at relationships. You look at relationships and opposites do attract. Here on my platform, I often talk about black women and white men and how she treats him and vice versa. I haven't done too much discussion on black men interracial dating and marrying with other women and how he is treated and how she is treated. Now, anytime a Hispanic female or a white female go home and tell their parents, hey, I have a new boyfriend. They say, congratulations. Wow, when can we meet him? What does he look like? And she tells them off top, Mom, Dad, he's black. And their mouths drop. And see, when they think of the black man, they think of him as his penis. Let's just be honest. So when you say a black man, a lot of ignorant people will say, hey, you're just with him for sex. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt like they give the black woman and the white man the benefit of the doubt. Well, hey, she couldn't find a decent black man, so she had to get her a white man. She tried. At first, her parents may say, oh, okay, well, when can we meet him? Then on the flip side, if she has parents that are anti-black, they're going to call him a mayate, which means Nigger in Spanish. Don't ever bring a mayate to my home. And so a lot of Hispanic women are secretly dating black men behind. Listen, there's even Hispanic women that are in a relationship with Hispanic men and is cheating on him with a black male. Just like you have black men who accuse black women of loving and liking and laying up with white men. Same thing in the Hispanic community. Hispanic men feel like Hispanic women are laying up with black men. This is the reason why every time you're around a Hispanic girl, Hispanic men are looking at you to see if she's looking at you or if you're looking at her. He's very insecure. I told you that. Now, you do have the racist Hispanic woman. And the thing about the racist Hispanic woman, which the older woman, over 40 years old, 50, 60, a lot of those women know they will secretly lay up with a black male. We know this. This idea that the black man don't take care of his kids when you can clearly look on your streets and see the amount of single Hispanic women. That stereotype doesn't even fly anymore. Sure, you have men who don't take care of their children. Of course, yes, there's lots of men who refuse to take care of their children. But for you to just say it's solely a black American male issue, no, you see a lot of single Hispanic women pushing strollers all over your cities. But somehow it's only a black male issue. And people endorse these stereotypes. And the reason why they endorse these stereotypes, they believe these stereotypes, they like these stereotypes, they want these stereotypes to be true. They regurgitate these stereotypes because it helps them feel better about themselves. Who goes around thinking negative about another group of people or person all day, every day? Isn't it? It should be classified as a disease, hate. Then you have these Hispanic males on social media who create these channels and talk about the black male's genital area all day long. And then you'll have black men go over there and conversate with them. And I'm like, what are you doing? These guys are sick. These guys should be out doing something productive. But yet, they have the black male on their brain. And their women see it also. They're like, listen, man, our issue is this so-called white supremacy, but every time I turn around, you have the black male name in your mouth. So what that does is make you look weak and make you look jealous. And he hasn't figured this out yet because he's not that bright. And so now you have women, Hispanic women coming out and saying, hey, man, I'm sick of the BS. This is how I want to live my life. And if it's my life. If you don't like it, oh, well, if you do, I don't really care. This is the way I feel. Sometimes people feel compelled to come out and tell their testimony. Black women do it all the time. It's tons of videos here on social media where black women are saying, hey, I love white men. White men or my world. I just wanted to come out and tell the world how I feel about white men. Now, if you pay attention, people are going to, especially women are going to listen to how I do my commentary on this video. Well, he's not talking against it. He's not for it. Okay, how does he feel about it? But there has never ever been a interracial date or marriage between a black woman and a white man that black women haven't came out and said, hey, we oppose it. You shouldn't have done it. No. They approve every last one of them, right? But they want you to play fair when you're doing commentary on things like this. Now, this doesn't flatter me. I don't get flattered by women who find me attractive. I don't get flattered by women of different races, nationalities, and ethnicities finding me attractive. I expect a female and or females to find me attractive. There's nothing flattering about it. Now, you do have some brothers who appreciate it. They're like, wow, I really appreciate those kind words from that Latina. And especially if he feels as though she's good looking, she's decent looking. So there will be brothers who are flattered by her saying such words. Hey, I'm attracted to black men. Okay. Now, one thing I also notice about the Hispanic community is that they don't want to acknowledge that they grew up watching black shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or it could be Martin. It could be In Living Color, Living Single. Okay. It could be the PJs. It could have been the Boondocks. You get what I'm saying? How you have a huge anti-blackness in their culture. However, they love hip hop. They love Tupac. They love Eazy-E. But somehow just to be working alongside of a black person or be living in the same neighborhood as a black person, it is a huge issue. And I've always told black people on this channel, I said, you have to learn the difference between being in a relationship with someone from another culture versus their culture actually liking you. Listen, just because you're dating a white person or a Hispanic person, that doesn't mean that their culture likes you. A lot of people are tribal. They have their territory. They feel as though, hey, black people, date your own people. You're always trying to date interracially, meanwhile screaming about racism and colorism. And they do have a point, people who feel like that. It just breaks their heart when they find out their daughter or their sister or their niece is dating a black male. It just does something to them. It makes them feel lesser than a man. I mean, you have channels on YouTube where Hispanic men dedicate all day, all night talking about the black male. I kid you not. It is hilarious. It's hilarious. And that lets the black man know how you are always on the minds of these people, the men and the women. Take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment. And see, Hispanic men like black women. They're always checking out black women. If they can get them a black woman, they'll get them one. And many of them have had one. Okay? And continuously to have one. Have some. A couple. Okay? But when it comes to the black man checking out his woman, oh, he throws a fit. He throws a hissy fit. He starts screaming and hollering, kicking in the middle of the store. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows how men act when they find out their daughter, their niece, their sister, hell, their grandma, like black men. It is what it is. It's like their heart stops and then it starts beating again. It just does something to these men. And I've been telling Brothers, if you're going to date interracially, don't be walking around out here holding hands and you are smiling and you think that everything is peaches and cream. No, there's a lot of people who don't like that. And then you have those stereotypes where, hey, he's with her or she's with him because of sex. It can never be because two people actually are compatible. It has to be sex. Black men are the most penis police men on earth. I kid you not. Everyone wants to know where the black man is sticking his you know what, in who, where, and what time. In what time zone, what state and city was he in at the time of the intercourse? That's what they want to know. Like, man. And don't be fooled by a lot of Hispanic women. You do have a lot of racist Hispanic women also. It is what it is. You have to accept things like that. However, you do have a large segment of Hispanic women who have and will continuously move away from that part of the culture. And they're getting more mainstream and getting into the workforce and into corporate America. So she's getting ready to break away from that mentality that she was growing up with. She sees that as counterproductive at a time when their people are fighting for survival and immigration. And she's saying, hey, if we are going to hate, we can't stop other people from hating us. How can we call the kettle black? So smart people are putting two and two together. I'm out. Peace.